Hello my sweet beautiful friends, and welcome to Style Feelings Hour with Rita. Today I'm talking about the concept of autonomy and personal styling. Autonomy, I mean your personal agency, your sense of individual control, decision making, taste making, that you are the one who is deciding what you want to have on your body, how you want to show yourself to the world, that you are in control of your image and your style. So first of all, talking about style autonomy, nobody in the world, almost nobody, has this complete autonomy where they make their own clothes, so it doesn't matter what's sold, and they don't care what their family or their friends or their neighbors or their colleagues think. They're just doing themselves, right? We are a communal species. We buy our clothes in stores. We do social learning. We look at like what things go together. We care about what other people think. We want to be perceived in certain ways, which means tuning into what people are expecting and how they interpret our fashion choices. We want to be seen as attractive and desirable, which often means learning rules for how to best highlight that. All of this is to say that it is natural, normal, healthy, and beautiful for us to be taking in external influence when deciding our style. So style autonomy is really not about I make all my own decisions, I have my own taste, I don't care. It's about what is my relationship to all these outside influences, rules, etc. What is your relationship? To all of the different style systems you follow, the style people you follow, maybe the personal stylists you've worked with. Do you feel like you're the one who is ultimately in charge and the one who gets to decide what is good and what isn't? Or have you fallen a bit into this victimization situation where you're being told by this person what you need to do to look good, or what you need to do to be at your best and your most beautiful and to highlight yourself to the world? And you're like, I guess I want to do that. I just want to invite you to think about that for a moment. I guess for most people, right, there's a range on how much autonomy you have and how much you have kind of given away or lost over the way. I know I've worked with a lot of people who have very low style autonomy. That's people who, for example, they don't buy a lot of their own clothes. Maybe you just have a bunch of clothes that, your mom and your sister and your friends and just people give you clothes. So you have all this stuff you wear that you didn't even pick out, or if you picked out stuff, it's you have maybe a friend or a partner or somebody who's really good with clothes, so they pick everything out for you, or you have a stylist who you paid to create a wardrobe for you, or create a kind of a shopping rules for you, or you've been placed in a system where you have a clear guidelines and you really just do that. Again, you could have all of those things. You could be, for example, a celebrity who has everything picked out for them, but you could still feel like you are the agent in charge of your style. So it's not about I get a lot of clothes as gifts, but it is about I get a lot of my clothes they're actually gifts from other people. I never chose them, I never picked them out, and I'm not sure that that's what I would pick out if I was the one buying it, right? So I know a lot of people tend to just kind of slide into this where they're okay, well, this is the thing I'm doing. I was given this kind of recommendation for how I need to do my look, and this is what I'm gonna do. And okay, also obviously this just makes you happy whether or not you have autonomy. Go for it. If you feel happy about that, why not? Wonderful. This video is not meant as a weird attack on your happiness. You go girl, you live your life, get it. However, I'm thinking about people who are not happy with these types of situations, and when you think and you're just kind of I'm trying to do things right, and I just want to do it correctly. I want to follow whatever guidelines I've received. I want to do the thing that I'm supposed to do because that's going to make me look good, or whatever. I don't know any other way. I think to think about why this arises, it can be really helpful to have a bit of self-compassionate reflection. I love to talk to people about their style story. Or you can do my style story adventure where you look at your own style story. I will link it below. Thinking about well, have you had any time in your life when you allowed yourself to actually think about what you like and just wear stuff that you're deciding looks good and experimenting with the things that feel good? And of course you've had some time in your life, but how much, right? How much space is there in your life for you to have been the one that decides? When you were a kid, like, did your parents just dress you, or were they kind of like, okay, you can pick out some stuff from this selection? Or were they like, of course, like, you wear whatever you want, we'll buy you, you know, your mom took you to the mall and she was like, let's pick out whatever outfits you like. You know, if you weren't given a lot of choice as a kid and you went to a school or something where you really needed to fit in or you wanted to fit in, then you didn't have a lot of opportunities to develop your style then either. So it's kind of like, when are you supposed to have developed your style? When are you supposed to have really listened in to the heart and thought about, like, what do I actually want to express? I sometimes think about this as like a Barbie girl phenomenon with some people who I see who have been really like stuck in this loop of just they're really end up, even though beautiful, courageous, like powerful people, just end up a bit with clothes somehow in the situation where you're kind of like, yeah, you're passive and you just have these clothes put upon you, either by friends who give you stuff, friends who dress you, stylists who dress you, people that come with your vision to me. And I get also a lot of questions from people every week, like, people see me in X way, but I don't see myself in that way. I see myself in Y way. Like, am I allowed to just go for like the way I see myself? And of course I'm always like, yeah, like, you go for it, like, doesn't matter what they think. Of course you should go for it, but it's, to me, what's more important is that I'm getting these questions that there are a lot of people out there who are experiencing this clash between like how people think your personality is, what you, or how your beauty is best highlighted, right, according to rules X or color season Y or Kibi type blah or essence Y, and how like you actually think your beauty is best highlighted. Systems are great. Getting people to style you is great. You know, I paid a lot of money to get like a styling, and that was really great. So I'm not saying you should cancel all the rules and ignore everybody, but I'm saying like it's your right for you to be the person that decides, the person that's in charge of the relationship between you and whatever styling advice you're receiving. And I'm thinking that there's a lot of you out there where that relationship right now is just not exactly where you want it to be. So what do I have for you? Solutions. So solution number one obviously has to be to actually prioritize like reclaiming your autonomy and just wanting to be a stronger decision maker. And when you prioritize one thing, you have to deprioritize other things. Right? That's just literally what a priority means. So this means that if your current goal is to look as good as you possibly can, be as fashionable as you can be, or if your goal is like to discover my most like authentic self and like the look that is the most me, those goals are different from, oh, I just want to like tune into what I like and I want to like reclaim my ability literally just to wear stuff and feel good about what I'm doing because I'm the one who's deciding. Right? Do you understand that those are not the same thing as, oh, I want to uncover my potential, or I want to, just look as good as I can. So it's kind of like, it's up to you to think about prioritizing the autonomy thing. I do think it's super important to prioritize, especially if you've been trapped in a cycle for a long time where you're shopping a lot and you're not getting things you like and you're just feeling lost. Or if you can barely shop at all because you just feel really powerless because it just seems impossible to find anything. So I think like it's so worth prioritizing the autonomy, especially if you're really struggling with the fashion, and just to say like, okay, but you know, I in my life I will discover my most best authentic beauty, or I will look the hottest I possibly can, but just maybe not for these next 6 months. Maybe in the next 6 months I'm just going to focus on actually strengthening and toning this kind of autonomy of style muscle that I have. That's the first thing. The second thing would be to do some reflections. Again, I really encourage you to join the Style Story adventure, but you don't have to do that. You could just think about all of the times in your life like when visions of other people were really put upon you. You know, who was that friend of yours who told you you don't look good in big prints? Or who was it like when your sister said you should only wear soft colors? Or maybe you paid thousands of dollars to a person to style you in a really specific way, right? Think about those times when those visions were put on you, or think about places where, you know, you, for whatever reason, just didn't have the opportunity to develop your taste, and let yourself see it clearly as a story where things are projected onto you and not a lot of stuff is coming out. So I think just having that clear vision and owning up to how it's been going really helps to move forward, because you're like, okay, shit, I see it. I haven't really been taking charge, and you kind of get more incentive to change that. Okay, like one really great thing I love is to just get rid of things. You don't have to throw it away. In fact, it's probably better not to throw things away when you're having a style discovery. Just put them away. But I would just go through your closet and look at things that, if you got them from other people, just think like, well, would I buy this for myself? And I know sometimes you're like, oh, I would never buy this for myself, but I'm so happy I received this. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if you have a bunch of stuff and you kind of wear it because you feel like you're expected to wear it, but it's not really you, just give yourself permission to put it away for a while. And the same with, you know, if you work in an office and everybody wears cardigans, so you bought cardigans too, but like you just know in your heart there's this kind of like ick factor feeling, or just kind of a shutdown, or this like feeling like this is just not exciting for me, just let yourself put it away. Like physically though, put it away. Don't just say like, oh, this isn't for now. Just get a box. Like get a box, put it on your bed, put it in your storage unit, put it you know, in some big closet in your house, wherever where you can't see it. Just physically clear out some empty space to give yourself more control, because I can tell you the stuff hanging around that doesn't really suit you, like the stuff you bought in like your correct colors, which you hate, and you're like, well, it needs to be here as a punishment for me having wasted money on buying these things. It's like, okay, let's just park it away for a little bit. You don't have to throw it away. You don't need to commit to anything, but just put it away. I think this like pushing away is always a great first step in reclaiming like what's me. And let yourself also have fun with this process. You don't need to go in and spend hours doing it. You can do like 10 minutes on one day. Just take one item out. Maybe remove one item every day for a week. Let yourself have fun with it. Be like, express yourself. Say like, I don't like this. Just say it out loud. Say like, this doesn't feel like me. I don't want to wear this anymore. I don't want to own this anymore. I don't want to have this in my closet anymore. Those are all just like such sweet little ways that they sound like almost silly when I say it to you, right? Like this advice, but it's so empowering to just remind yourself that it is like you're an adult and you are the one who's in charge of what's going on in your closet and what's going on in your body. It's like saying those things to yourself is so empowering. So just trust me, just try it out and you're gonna love it. Okay, my next step would be to just also to start slow in terms of letting yourself feel safe, right? I know a lot of people are really scared about deciding what they like, because what they like are not the things that their sister likes or their parents like or their friends like or their colleagues like, right? So it can be really frightening, especially if you've been previously really following some style rules or guidelines that tell you how to do something. Suddenly pivoting away from that is very hard, it's very frightening, and it's not necessary, right? It's not necessary for you to do this whole like 180. So feel into yourself, like what feels possible for you. Does it feel possible for you to get like a bright, I don't know, coat or a really fun bag, or get like a bright manicure if you usually wear only soft colors, or to start experimenting with bolder makeup, or to stop wearing makeup and to stop wearing jewelry completely, stop wearing high heels if they just don't feel like you, right? I always say like to figure out what the easiest what feels like the easiest step and go in that direction, because even the easy steps, when you're talking about this kind of like personal growth stuff, even the easy shit is hard, right? So just start with the easy thing. Start with the slow stuff. Again, you don't need to prove to me, to yourself, to anybody that you're like on a style autonomy journey. Like, you are on it. Just take your time and be soft with yourself. Also though, like, I want to say this as my other piece of advice is, at some point, it's also depending on if you feel like that in your heart, it can also be a great opportunity to like go big and just be really brave and, you know, go and buy yourself that bag or the outfit, those colors that you've been wanting forever, or just go out of the house in those shoes you own that you haven't worn for 2 years, or like just put together the stuff that doesn't really match. You don't need to take a picture of it and have it evaluated by people online, right? You don't need there to be some referendum on how you look by people at your work or whatever. You can just wear it to like a cafe where nobody really knows you and nobody cares, and you're done with it, and just do it for yourself. Or if you want to get a fancy new work outfit, just wear it to your work and just have some courage. And again, like, it's just clothes, even though it's never just the clothes, right? But I'd say it's your human right. So when you feel ready for it, yeah, I say just to go big, and you don't need to always keep these changes as small as you want. So I both recommend like taking really small, safe, easy steps, but also like being on the lookout for when your heart just says like, yes, I'm ready, and then, you know, do the big thing. And one like smaller final thing I really like is just to start using style inspiration in a better way. You probably use style inspiration a lot, or maybe you don't, but you probably use it. And I think that what I would really recommend for you to do is to find a celebrity you like, or find some street style photos, whatever, and just try to find 1 or 2 pictures that really speak to you. And the important thing is that on these pictures, you don't want to look at them and be like, oh, I wish I could look like that, or oh, I wish I could have that, you know, vibe or whatever, right? I want you instead to find the picture that really just makes you feel something, right? It doesn't need to be a relatable person with your body type, your skin color, your personal coloring, whatever, your aesthetic, your lifestyle. Just let yourself find some photos that feel something, not even feeling like you, not feeling like, oh, this is the direction I'm gonna go in. Because the thing is, I feel that a lot of times when people don't have good style autonomy, they are aware of it and really desperately kind of searching for like, okay, I need to find my look, I need to get what is authentic to me, I need to find the inspiration, okay, this is the one, right? But I'm just let's put pause on figuring those things out. Let's put pause on finding the solution, and let's just bring back just the pure like feeling response you have to the photos. So find yourself a couple photos. You can do this like once a week. Take 10 minutes to browse Pinterest, whatever. Find a couple photos and just let yourself actually react to them. You can put words on it. You don't need to put words on it. Just let yourself look at the photo for like 2 minutes, 1 minute. Have you looked at any inspo photos for that long? Ask yourself what it makes you feel. Why does it make you feel that way? Kind of opening the inner channel of like feeling with clothes. That's a good guideline for you in your own style autonomy journey. So that's the video. Style autonomy, claim it, reclaim it, grow it, own it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Bye.